Here we go.
All right. Sorry.
We don't care. We'll stand. Here, let's be able to see.
Got it.
Sit down.
So once again, let's have a big round of applause for our special guest, Jim.
Thanks, guys.
Zimmerman, author and scriptwriter for The Golden Girls.
Season 1.
So thank you guys for being here.
There you go.
So I have a question. So this is the your 40th anniversary of The Golden Girls.
This fall will be the 40th anniversary.
This fall, correct.
There you go.
So tell us, each of you tell us your favorite Golden Girls moment, trivia.
Of all
time.
Of all time.
All time.
All
What are
time.
you going to say? Meeting Jim Colucci.
And meeting this one, can you believe he was on in the first season? He was 4 years old.
4 years, exactly. Oh, I thought you were only 3. Oh, 3, 4, 3.5.
You know, I always, when people ask me what's my favorite episode of the show, it changes depending on what was the most recent one I saw, because there are so many that impress me and they stay in my mind. And it's always one of Stan's. But the thing that impresses me most about the show is, and as we head backward politically where we are now, about how progressive they were 40 years ago. When you think about 40 years ago, gay rights, and how little visibility we had, and how much fear there was, and Stan can talk about that because of your first year on the show was during those years, and just the HIV fear and the backlash, and then to think where we are now, and part of it is through shows like this, when Clayton shows up and is not the brunt of the joke, but is presented as somebody who deserves dignity, and yet it's still funny. Those are the things that stick with me.
So people are always surprised when I say that I had to be in the closet writing on season 1 of Golden Girls. So the only person that knew that we were gay was Estelle Getty. And the first day on the set, she said to my writing partner and I, follow me around the set, and she said, you're one of us. Meaning gay. I thought she meant Jewish, but it was gay. And she was not gay, but she was an ally. And she said...
And she was Jewish.
And she was Jewish. And she said, your secret is safe with me. So I've always wondered, like, did she tell B? Because B was such an ally of it. But in the writer's room, we could not acknowledge that we were gay. And in the book, I tell the story.
Buy the book.
By the book. Whatever.
And his book.
His book is fantastic.
Or if I need to read it, I'll tell you all the stories. But there is a story in the book that in the writer's room you talk about everything, what you did on the weekend. And because we were in the closet, I couldn't say I was dancing in Studio One, or I met a guy, or blah, 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 blah. But we had bought some items from a garage sale in Silver Lake. And the writer said, you have to go home and burn them. Those were people that had AIDS.
Oh,
This was a true story, yeah.
And it's not like they were trying to be assholes. That's the thing you have to contextualize. And you all
They
were
didn't
around, you
know.
that. They didn't know. It was more the fear and the ignorance. They weren't trying to be dicks about it. They really thought that.
But that was the environment that we were writing season 1 in. So it was just a different time. So we're lucky that we got all those beautiful things in, and got to do episodes about sexual harassment, and they've done shows about suicide and dementia. And I feel so lucky to have been just a small part of this wonderful show.
Yay!
thank you guys for sharing. So tell us something behind the scenes that nobody would necessarily know, that you guys may know. It could be about the set, about dish and dirt if you'd like.
You know it all.
One of my favorite things is that, as you know, Estelle had stage fright. And so she would write her lines on objects on the set.
Go on her hand.
In her hand.
Season 1, she's eating raisins because we wrote the lines. At the time, they told us in the writer's room that she